Then little children were being brought to him in order that he might lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples spoke sternly to those who brought them. But Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not stop them, for it is to such as these that the kingdom of heaven belongs." And he laid his hands on them and went on his way.
I'll never forget the day my 4-year-old nephew ran straight into a crowded restaurant, weaving between tables and waiters, heading directly for me with his arms wide open. He didn't care about the fancy setting, the important-looking business people, or the fact that he was interrupting conversations. He just saw his uncle and ran. Pure, unfiltered joy and trust. That's exactly what's happening in today's gospel. And honestly, it's one of my favorite Jesus moments. Picture the scene. Jesus is probably in the middle of some serious theological discussion with the disciples. Maybe they're debating important matters of faith, planning their next ministry move, or discussing the complexities of following God. Then suddenly, here come the parents with their kids. The disciples immediately go into security mode. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Can't you see Jesus is busy? He's got important work to do. Kids, this isn't the time or place. I can almost hear them. Make an appointment. Come back when you're older. Learn some manners first. But Jesus stops everything. He doesn't just tolerate the interruption. He welcomes it. Let the little children come to me. Not let them come when they're older and understand theology better. Not let them come when they can sit still and be quiet. Right now, as they are. Here's what gets me. Jesus says the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. Not to the ones who have it all figured out. Not to the ones with perfect theology or flawless behavior. To the ones who run with arms wide open. Who trust without questioning. Who love without conditions. I think about my friend Sarah's daughter, Emma. When Emma was 5, she prayed for her goldfish every night for 2 weeks after it died, convinced that God would bring it back. Sarah was embarrassed, trying to explain death and reality to her. But you know what? Emma's faith was bigger than her understanding, and her love was stronger than logic. That's the kind of faith Jesus is talking about. It's not naive, it's pure. It's not ignorant, it's trusting. Children don't come to Jesus with a list of qualifications or a resume of good deeds. They come because they need him, and they believe he loves them. Period. The disciples thought they were protecting Jesus from distraction, but Jesus knew these children weren't the distraction, they were the point. In a world that values achievement, status, and sophistication, Jesus says, actually, these little ones get it better than anyone. Think about how children approach relationships. They don't hold grudges for long. They forgive quickly. They ask for help without shame. They express their needs honestly. They love unconditionally. They trust completely. They find joy in simple things. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're just being themselves. Now, Jesus isn't telling us to be childish, throwing tantrums when we don't get our way or being irresponsible. He's calling us to be childlike, approaching God and others with openness, wonder, trust, and authenticity. I've noticed that the older I get, the more complicated I make my relationship with God. I analyze my prayers, worry about saying the right things, wonder if I'm spiritual enough. But children, they just talk to God like he's their best friend, because to them, he is. The beautiful thing is that Jesus doesn't just say be like children. He shows us how to treat them. He stops his important work to bless them. He makes time for them. He values them not for what they can do, but for who they are. So here's my challenge. What would it look like to approach God today with the trust of a child? What if you stopped worrying about having all the right words and just ran to him with arms wide open? What if you brought your needs, your joys, your fears to him with the simple confidence that he loves you and wants to bless you? And equally important, how can you be more like Jesus to the children in your life? Not just kids, but anyone who approaches you with vulnerability, need, or simple trust. The kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. Maybe it's time we stopped trying to earn our way in and started running toward love with arms wide open.